Hello and welcome. Today we are going to review the Shogun by Bread and Butter, their newest pickleball paddle to hit the market. So today is Saturday, May 11th. I did an unboxing video yesterday when I received the paddle in the mail. Threw that up on YouTube and got some good viewership, some few comments, several of which asking to get an actual review of the usage of the paddle after playing with it, and wanted to provide that here quickly. So and here's the paddle with the nice case that came with it. Let's put that aside for a moment. So let's start with my expectations and hope for this paddle. Like I mentioned in the unboxing, I've been using the Filth by Bread and Butter since August 2023. So the Filth is also an elongated paddle, raw carbon fiber face, thermal formed. Love this paddle. Had no intentions of replacing this. I've been using it since last August. The paddle I came from prior to this, the Selkirk Vanguard 2 Invicta, which is their elongated shape, it had excellent control. Excellent control. I felt like it was very soft, but the put away power just wasn't there. And it also didn't really generate much spin. Although at that time that I was using that paddle, spin wasn't really something I was working on, wasn't really something on my mind. But the lack of power was irking me, so to speak. So started looking for something else, looked around, and I felt like the Filth was the one for me. So I bought it, and it absolutely delivered, beat my expectations, gave me the additional power I was looking for without sacrificing the control. Still felt like my drops were nice and buttery, felt like my dinking was still there, my control, touch, and ability to put the ball where I wanted was all still there. And then bonus, thing definitely generates a ton more spin than the Selkirk Vanguard 2 Invicta does. So love this, no intentions of replacing it until Bread and Butter says, hey, we're coming out with the Shogun. So I'm like, oh, what exactly do we have with the Shogun? So immediately went and checked out their information. I said, okay, looks similar to the Filth, except the main thing was that the Filth, again, raw carbon fiber face. The Shogun, raw carbon fiber with a titanium weave. Now, what's that mean? I don't know. Obviously, it means it's got titanium weaved in, but what does that actually do? Wasn't sure. So, when we read the description, it says the Shogun is our newest paddle to date. Fact, never been seen before carbon fiber and titanium weave face. The paddle is an experimental powerhouse. Powerhouse, let's hold on to that word for a moment. We opted for an elongated shape to accentuate the power and pop provided by the surface material. Don't be fooled. While it's more than capable of keeping up with the Filth in terms of power, it offers more control than its raw carbon fiber counterpart. So I find that confusing. The first paragraph is mentioning experimental powerhouse, and the other one is, the next paragraph seems to allude to the fact that the power and the pop can keep up with the Filth. Does that mean the Filth is a little bit more in power, or supposed to be, or they're identical? Not from the description, not sure. It offers more control than its raw carbon fiber counterpart. More control, okay? Thermoformed unibody, EVA foam injected edge walls, extended paddle. Cool. So, in terms of specs, let's start with the Filth just because that's what I'm coming from. This one shows a range on the website, 7.6 to 8.1 ounces. The Shogun, it just says 8.0 ounces. I can't tell the difference holding them. Which, what exact, ounces is my Filth within that range? I don't know. Maybe it's 8.0 and that's why I don't know a difference. Or maybe it's 7.6 and my body just can't tell the difference between 7.6 and 8.0. So let's call that negligible. The Filth does not have a swing weight listed on their website. The Shogun does at 121. The website says they're identical size, 16.5 by 7.375. Now, I'm also going to add, skipping down, 5.5 inch grip length, 4.25-inch circumference on said grip. Now that's for both the paddles. The sizes I just quoted, 16.5 by 7.375, and the grip length of 5.5. They are identical per the website. Now when I line these up down towards the bottom, I think that's pretty well lined up. To me, it looks like the filth is a smidge taller, right? At the very, very top, the filth is a little bit taller, pretty well even at the bottom. Now here is the main difference that I'm pointing out right now. So even though they both say 5.5-inch grip length, we see the mouth of the Shogun comes down lower, and it makes my perception such that I feel like the Shogun's handle is a little bit shorter. That was one of the main noticeable differences as soon as I put it in my hand and started using it. So when I'm using the filth, I hold it like this, whether you're supposed to or not. Let's not critique people's grips. That's how I hold it, that's how I'm comfortable. Yes, it absolutely sucks when someone blasts one at you and it hits you right in the finger. It happens. When I hold it here, I feel like the handle is below the bottom of my palm. I like that feeling. I don't know why. I don't do two-hand backhands, but I like that. Then when I hold the Shogun the exact same way, it does not come down below. It's actually a little bit above the bottom of my palm. So it just felt a little bit different. Now I want to be clear here. Different is what I said. I didn't say better. I didn't say worse. I said different. I think that's just an adjustment that I'm going to have to make and something to get used to, as I do plan to continue to use the Shogun. So that's a difference right there. What else? They both say thermoformed unibody construction. They're both raw carbon fiber face, except the Shogun adds the titanium weave. They're both 16 millimeters with a high density polypropylene core with graphics UV printed directly onto the surface. Both USAPA approved paddles. Cool. All right, so when I got to the gym today, I was very excited to use it. Took it out. Couple people, I'm known for my filth, right? I talk about it all the time. Whole bunch of people at the gym that I play with bought the filth per my recommendation. Right? It's not that I'm the end-all be-all on pickleball paddles, but people know that I do spend time looking into these things, and several people were looking for a better paddle. They were at a similar place that I was when I was using the Vanguard 2 Invicta and wanted something new. Others were in a good place and wanted a good paddle at a reasonable price and went with the filth. My point being, when I took the Shogun out, a whole bunch of people were immediately like, whoa, what's that? So I told them about it, one of which happened to be a native Japanese speaker. So she read this and said, wow, that's Japanese. And I said, ooh, can you read that? She said, yeah, that says flawless victory. I said, all right, cool, flawless victory. Hopefully I'll get lots of flawless victories, aka golden pickles, using this thing. And then I was like, what's that say? And apparently that one says Shogun. I hope I didn't get that backwards, but I think I got it right. There are some Japanese characters on the edge guard. I will just point out, I did put some white electric tape around the outside just to protect it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do longer term. But anyway, so that was when I first took it out. Immediately noticed by a whole bunch of people. So then I started actually playing with it. I played with it for an hour and a half last night, played with it for 3 hours today. I felt like, again, the handle length felt a little different. I'm going to keep using it and look to get used to that. Power-wise, I felt like maybe it gave a little bit more power. I'm going to be real curious to watch other people's reviews and see what other people are saying, how they perceived it. How am I arriving at this opinion? I felt like the control was there. We'll come back to the power in just a second. I felt like the control was there. I didn't really feel like there was any adjustment in terms of getting the drops to go nicely. I felt like I could still dink at the kitchen just fine. In fact, with the spin, trying to do the top spin and, the chop and the slice, I felt like this was really spinning the ball, and that was all excellent. So spin was there, control was there. Now the power, if I had to make a choice, again, I'm having a hard time deciding. If I had to go with an answer and make a choice, I'd say it was a little bit more power. What am I basing this on? Things that I would normally hit inbounds at a pretty high rate, I was a little bit more likely to hit them out of bounds. Now, was it because the paddle? Is it the paddle's fault? Of course it's the paddle's fault. It's always the paddle's fault. I can never make a mistake. Kidding. I make that joke with several people at the gym all the time, right? Someone makes a mistake, the first thing they do is they look at their paddle like, what is wrong with you? How did you make this mistake? Anyway, I felt like I was hitting balls out that I normally would have hit in. So again, is it the paddle? Is it more powerful? Maybe, maybe not. Was I having a bad day? Did I have wrong technique on those couple shots? I'm not sure. It's going to be very interesting to see, A, what I think as I continue to use it moving forward, and B, what other people are saying. I know of one other person that's received this and used it thus far. They said they felt like it was a little more control. Does that mean less power? I'm not sure. Haven't had the opportunity to sit down and chat with them a little bit further yet. So that's what I thought about the use of the paddle. I also want to say I'm known for using a pickleball paddle eraser on this thing, the filth, to get all the dirt and sand out of the grit that the paddle picks up as you hit the ball. Indoors, it definitely picks up a little bit, right? After playing a game, you'll look at the face of the paddle and you'll see sand, dirt, dust, whatever you want to call it, on the paddle. Not a ton, but you'll see it there. And then you can use the paddle eraser to wipe it off. When you play outside, ton of dirt on there. Dust, whatever you want to call it. And the paddle eraser is nice to take it off. Sometimes I can be a little OCD with it, not going to lie, but we'll leave that there. So, to the Shogun, I don't know if it's just the look and feel of it is preventing me from noticing that it picked up some dirt or dust, or if it just doesn't pick up as much dirt or dust. I am not sure. But doesn't seem to be picking up much is what I'm saying now. And in fact, I have a question for the good folks down there at Bread and Butter. Is it okay to use a pickleball paddle eraser on this, yes or no? And maybe a secondary question is, if yes, is it the same one that one would use on this? Or is it a different one because of the titanium? I'd be very curious to find out. I don't know if anyone from Bread and Butter is watching, but I'd love to know. And if anyone that is watching, whether you are a Bread and Butter representative or not, I'd love to hear your opinion or knowledge on the matter. So I think finally, let's talk quickly about the look and feel, right? There were several comments about the look of it. I know I had some thoughts. When I first saw this on the website, the picture of it, I said, it's interesting. They're going to maroon, a burgundy color. Okay. I can do something with that. I like to accessorize, right? On my filth. There's a black edge guard natively on this paddle. I put blue electric tape on there. I like blue. You know, sometimes I wear a blue bandana or a blue shirt or put my blue Samsung Galaxy watch band or some combination thereof. You know, to go with the paddle, establish a little bit of a theme. It's fun, whatever. I'm a dork. Let's not comment on that. So I was thinking, what can one do with this? And to me, that starts with what color is it, right? So obviously we've got a white edge guard, and I've got white tape currently protecting the outside, which does cover up these Japanese characters and saying Bread and Butter on there. Not saying I'm going to keep it there long term, but it is a white edge guard. Any tape you put on there will be covering those characters and this wording, so that's something to keep in mind. Obviously, we've got the yellow handle with the yellow Japanese characters, some text here, Shogun, Bread and Butter up here. Some white text on there, and then the meat and potatoes of the face on the website that looked, again, burgundy and maroon to me. When I look at it in person, depending on exactly, I don't know what you see in the camera, but as you tilt it and the light hits it differently, you see different things. Certain, like right there, that looks burgundy and maroon to me. But I'll tell you what though, these Jordan 1 Bordeaux, as Nike calls it, it's essentially maroon burgundy, like I thought the Shogun was, or maybe it is in certain lights. Not the same color. Okay, fine. So is it red? right? Started asking people, what do you see? Got a whole bunch of different answers. Someone said orange, they saw orange in there. Someone said black and red with a little bit of silver. A couple people said maroon. When you look really closely, it looks like maybe it's black with red and silver zigzag, and maybe it's an optical illusion where your brain kind of just interprets what your eyes are seeing and kind of mixes it all together. I'm not sure. But quickly, I feel like I'd be remiss to not compare it to red as well. Not red. Not red. So, this is something one needs to keep in mind. A couple people said it's a McDonald's look. I guess that's because of the yellow. Now, you certainly can't do anything about the yellow text on the face. That is what it is. I guess you can get a Sharpie and do something about it, but I'm not sure how that would come out. What you can do things about is, say, this grip. I ordered some overgrips that I didn't put on yet. Ordered black, but I think the black ones are actually going to go on the filth since this filth is black. I think the white overgrip looks a little bit silly on the otherwise black edge guards. So I think black should go on here. On here, I think I might put a white overgrip to match the white edge guards. Not sure. One could always put tape on the outside to customize the look. I will play with that moving forward and decide what I'm doing. But again, used it for about 4.5 hours total across yesterday and today. Like it very much. Plan to continue using it. I wanted to open the video with the joke that, a couple jokes that with the Shogun, I was able to hit an ATP on the right side, on the right of box 2 from box 1. And I was able to hit a ball off of the ceiling with this thing. And this one speed up I did at the kitchen, I not only, hit the person in the chest, but the ball went right clear through their chest, and that person didn't make it. Obviously, none of that is actually the case, but did enjoy using the paddle. Did you get one? Let me know down in the comments. Do you have questions? Is there anything else you want to hear about, whether it's involving the Shogun or otherwise? Please like, subscribe, comment, and thanks for coming by. Take care and be good.